Good morning. I am glad for the
you.
invitation to participate in this webinar. As mentioned, I am a senior economist at the Economic Research Service, which is USDA's social science research arm. My topic today is a joint project that ERS has with the U.S. Census Bureau and USDA's Food and Nutrition Service, which administers the nation's food and nutrition assistance programs. Our three agencies formed a strategic partnership to develop the next generation data platform for conducting research on USDA food assistance programs. I will describe the project's goals, highlight results from 3 ERS research reports from the project, and explain how the agencies overcame the barriers to success. The reports demonstrate that by using linked data sources, we are able to obtain results that are not obtainable using any one data source alone, providing an evidence base for program and policy decisions. These reports examine the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, formerly known as the Food Stamp Program. SNAP is USDA's largest food assistance program, serving about 44 million people per month, about 14% of the nation's population, at a cost of approximately $71 billion in 2016. The reports address 3 big issues: sub-state detail on program access, program targeting of benefits by income level, and measurement of monthly versus annual participation rates. The project has multiple goals. Each partner agency receives benefits, but different types of benefits support their respective missions. As USDA agencies, ERS and FNS seek to inform policymakers and others on who participates in the programs, how program participation affects the lives of those individuals, and who does not participate and why. In contrast, the Census Bureau's interests are primarily to improve their surveys, which collect data on food assistance program participation, the 2020 census, and data linkage processes. The joint project is acquiring USDA administrative data from states. These data are collected by states and reside at the state level. This is an additional challenge not faced by programs that have a national database. The project is linking those data to Census Bureau surveys, leveraging the strengths of each data source. The project conducts policy-relevant analysis, gaining results using the linked data that are unobtainable with either data source separately. A strength of SNAP administrative records is that they are complete, containing the universe of all SNAP participants. They are reliable, providing accurate information on participation and duration and amount of benefits each month, and they are available in the sense that they are already collected. However, administrative data also have limitations. Program records exclude non-participants, and they include only data needed to operate the program, excluding many socioeconomic variables. They omit data on program outcomes, such as food security and health. On the other hand, on the survey side, large nationally representative federal surveys cover everyone in the population, participants and non-participants alike. Surveys also contain rich socioeconomic data. Surveys can include outcome variables too. However, as a weakness, it is known that households tend to underreport SNAP participation and benefits in survey data. And, depending on the survey, there may be no information on duration of SNAP participation and amount of benefits. The issue driving the project's first report was who does SNAP reach and not reach at a sub-state level. USDA's Food and Nutrition Service has a mission-driven interest in understanding how effectively SNAP is reaching the people it is designed to serve. The data required to produce detailed estimates within a state have previously not been available, and these data can be helpful as states decide where to focus expenditures. The project linked SNAP data for Texas to the American Community Survey and developed a new methodology for obtaining detailed geographic and demographic results. The access rate measures the share of eligible people who receive SNAP benefits. American Community Survey data are used to model who is eligible for SNAP. SNAP administrative data provide an official record of who among them participated. For Texas as a whole, the estimated SNAP access rate was about 63%. That is, among the people who are estimated to be eligible in the ACS, a check of the SNAP records shows that 63% of them were participants. Access rates range from about 37 to 77% across Texas congressional districts. The Texas report also provided access rates for selected demographic subpopulations. Incomes vary across households that participate in SNAP. The key issue of this second report is what percentage of SNAP households have the very lowest income. Linked data help address underreporting, income variability, and complex household structures, such as multifamily households and unrelated individuals. Linked data also connect annual income data with the official data on SNAP participation benefits. Using linked data for the state of New York, the study found that SNAP is targeted more towards those with low annual incomes than is detected using American Community Survey data alone. The ACS-only measure is on the left, treating everyone in the residence as if they were in one family. The linked data measure on the right models who within the residence belongs to separate families in order to better estimate their separate eligibility. The share of SNAP households with annual income less than 50% of poverty increases from about 18 to 27% between the two measures, while the share in poverty, the two bottom categories combined, increases from about 51 to 61%. The third study addresses the question of who participates in SNAP among which statistical populations. People can be eligible for SNAP and participate in the program in a given month. ERS called that approach a monthly time frame. Alternatively, in an annual time frame, people can be eligible for SNAP at some time during the year. These are two different statistical populations. Federal surveys often ask, at some time in the last year, did you receive SNAP benefits? If an annual time frame is used for estimating eligibles, it is important to use an annual time frame to measure participation. New York SNAP records were used to count the number of people who received SNAP for one or more months in the annual time frame. While the monthly participation rate for New York was about 80%, the annual rate was about 75%. The monthly slice of time tends to capture more people who are long-term eligible, and they tend to participate at higher rates, boosting the monthly rate above the annual rate. I'd like to introduce and explore 3 takeaway lessons for success and how this complex project overcame barriers. A successful project can benefit from a partnership. Not all elements have to come from a single agency. Programmatic, infrastructure, analytical, and financial support can come from different agencies. A partnership must provide mutual benefits, but the benefits can be different for each agency. Project results must be valued by policymakers and others because their support is necessary for the resources to support the work. The project needed all three agencies together to overcome barriers to success. FNS's role is specializing in programmatic support. One barrier to research using SNAP data is that there is a statutory use restriction requiring that confidential SNAP data be used for administrative or enforcement purposes. FNS approval allows use of SNAP data for research that informs program administration. FNS also knows SNAP's issues. FNS support enables Census to acquire SNAP data from states more readily. Another barrier to success is the need for appropriate skills and data handling policies. Census specializes in what may be called infrastructure support, by which I mean both physical and intellectual capital at Census. In addition to IT, Census has specialized staff who reach out to states to acquire SNAP data through negotiating data sharing agreements. Other staff clean and edit the data on arrival using protected identification keys or PICs. The records in SNAP data are linked to records in the ACS or other surveys. Census has detailed policies and procedures for handling data in a secure data environment, ultimately to maximize use while maintaining data confidentiality and integrity. Accessing confidential census data requires research to provide a census benefit. That is another statutory restriction, and the researcher must obtain special sworn status as a census agent. ERS contributes expertise in economics and other social science and statistical disciplines. ERS has provided funding to support the project. ERS identifies policy and economic issues together with FNS and Census. The state's SNAP agencies have state-specific expertise on their own management information systems. And in return for sharing the data, states receive tables tailored for their state that are based on the linked data. This year, data visualizations using Tableau were begun, and Census provides webinars to state agencies on the statistical results. These quid pro quos help address the barrier of obtaining state cooperation. Several states have signed agreements, and several more are on the cusp. There are active discussions with other non-shaded states. As of June, 20 state SNAP agencies have signed agreements with Census to share SNAP data. The WIC program is the short name for the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, a USDA program that serves some of the country's most vulnerable populations. 11 state WIC agencies have signed agreements with Census. The project is working toward having more states provide SNAP data and data from other programs, such as unemployment insurance, housing assistance, and cash welfare. Analysis of veterans' records has just begun. We also hope to expand the project to examine SNAP's impacts on program outcomes, such as nutrition and food security. The breadth and depth of the project's data sets and the research issues we tackle can ultimately depend on the amount of resources that are made available. We also hope to expand the project to examine, include data access for external researchers who are working in academia and nonprofits. Confidential SNAP data are one type of data, and ERS recognizes the importance of expanding data access, and itself has a long history of conducting research in partnership with external researchers through grants and cooperative agreements. Plans are under development for creating external research access to these data through the 25 Federal Statistical Research Data Centers, or FSRDCs, which are located across the country. These centers were formerly known as the Census RDCs, but the name changed to reflect that federal statistical agencies besides Census are becoming involved in providing confidential data through the RDCs. ERS is working closely with Census, FNS, the FSRDCs, and the states to expand data access. With such access for approved projects, applied economists in academia or nonprofit research organizations will be able to contribute to the evidence base for USDA policy on SNAP. I'm glad to have had the opportunity to describe the Census-FNS-ERS project and the Next Generation Data Platform, and to review some of the project's results to date. Thank you. This presentation is complete.